Let's try. Too bad. Those splits were pretty neat. But I made huge mistakes, unnecessarily. A simple earth slide would have done that beast. Also, he only had 3 HP left because the sprite hit him for 2. That's silly. How's Luigi doing? Why am I mashing already? Thank you, Stinger. Let's see where he is. Well, apparently he has started another run. Thank you. I guess I'm warmed up now. Well, mostly. Good luck. Thank you. I can use good luck. Because, well, while I'm still messing up with my execution, Secret of Mana is still a lot of luck involved. Unless you're playing with 3 actual players, Secret of Mana has a ton of luck. With 3 players, the luck is basically reduced to a few key points. Okay, let's count properly. I need 11 kills, so let's do that. Wow, 14, that's bad. That's 2. Three. I missed. Oh well. 4. 5. Nice. 6. Is there one? Is there one? Yeah, there is one. 7. Nice. 7 is pretty much the best number you can get to get out of here. Still trying to figure out the best smashing technique. I really wish every game would have the same text boxes such as Paper Mario on the N64. In that game you can simply hold B and it skips through all text. Also on the last text boxes I always smash L and R, so I don't make An unnecessary move. That's 114. Oh, that's 2 already. If it hits 3, I need an additional hit to kill him. Nice. Sword Orb. Nice. We can use that. Technically. Hmm. Sorry about that. Bye bye, Gemma. Whoa, silly. Running into walls. It is actually a legit tactic in Secret of Mana. As soon as you have AI partners to manipulate them. But right now, it's only time loss, unfortunately. Okay, I might as well do a commentary run, I guess. So, as you may notice, whenever the music changes, there is a brief second of lag, like this. Also, there is a damage, well, range, quote-unquote. Sometimes you see me do only 15 damage. Well, that was silly. That's the old strategy. Sometimes you see me only doing 15 damage, well, let's say less than maximal, and that's usually bad. Because it means I need an additional hit or I need to wait a bit longer to finish off an enemy. Oops. Also, if you run onto triggers such as those buttons to make the stairs appear, your gouge bar at the bottom does not get emptied, and so you can usually simply keep running after that. Also, movement in Secret of Mana is quite interesting. Moving, let's say if you want to move to the left, moving down left or up left, well, diagonally up left or down left, moves you the same distance towards the left as simply holding left alone. As in, you move technically faster if you are moving diagonally. So you don't lose any time by moving left and right, for example on stairs or something like that, while descending or ascending. Okay, 3 times the left option and once the right option. It's pretty important that you hit the right option on the last text box, because it will simply loop after another 10 seconds of text box. Also, on an interesting note, mana seeds in Secret of Mana are not only a plot device, but they are actually useful. As in, they give you attack power and a little bit instant magic power. Mostly attack. The attack power is the interesting part though. Also, saving and resetting here saves one dialogue box and walking outside for a little bit. So that's pretty neat. Also, whenever you can in Secret of Mana, you want to sidestep stairs, so you are not slowed down by the stairs. Normally I would do now 20 damage without the mana seed, however because I got the mana seed I do 21, so it increased my damage by 1. If I would have the sword right now, it would do 20 damage. The spear does 1 damage more. So that's 3 enemies right now. My spear is currently level 0. I want it to be on level 1 before I hit the Dwarven village. So I killed 3 enemies and I need 8 more. I need a total of 11 enemies killed with the spear to level up my spear from level 0 to level 1, which was the same for the sword by the way. This spear needs 3 hits, which is why it usually isn't worth it killing it. Because you have to stand. Here, those goblins, I kill them because I can drag them along. Like that. They have 64 HP, which means if I do 3 hits with 21 damage, I need only 1 more damage to kill them. Oh, I missed. I'm potent. I was lucky. I could have died there. Also, don't stand in a straight line to the goblins, because they can throw boomerangs. Uh-oh. You can get ballooned, and that's absolutely RNG. Simply waste a bit of second, and usually if the first blood in the dungeon balloons you, you are dead. And there's nothing you can do about it. Now unfortunately I didn't keep count on how many enemies I killed. So the blats are fairly high up there, so that means the goblins down here will spawn. Well, that was 2 16s. I killed that goblin, even though I cannot track him alone, for this slime to be a little bit further to the right there, so he isn't in my way when I have to walk up the stairs. And my weapon skill is already up. Basically, that's perfect when I kill the last guy in the room here for the weapon skill to level up, so I can, well, run through the rest of the dungeon. Because there's a fairly lengthy piece of way I can run through, thanks to not having to kill anymore. Hit that switch there. Switching to the sword before I forget it. And we are in the Dwarven village. Okay, now what I'm going to do is set up the item glitch. The item glitch is quite interesting, how it works. I'm going to buy a candy for the second item slot and a herb for the third item slot. Now I'm going into the menu, set the cursor to the third item slot, which is the herb, sell the herb. Now the game sets the cursor to the second item slot, which is the candy, sell the candy, and the game forgets to set the cursor to the first item slot, which would be the rope. Now, by leaving and entering the selling menu, I recreate the selling menu from the original menu, which still has the cursor set on the second slot, which is empty. And well, I have the second slot now selected, even though it shows me the rope. The second slot is empty, has no icon, so it shows me the rope. So that's how that works. So that's how you get money. Ton of money. I only get 2 cups of wishes, because I'm going to set up another glitch with high candies. 3 strength armbands. By the way, those give +1 strength, which means you do more damage, which is pretty neat. So that's that. Running outside and setting up the next glitch, which is the trashing glitch. It's a very precise setup, not hard to do, but a precise setup. And then I'll have 8 Cups of Wishes. As you might remember, I only bought 2. Why do I have 8 now? Well, the game is a bit interesting how it tries to do things. Because I trashed the equipment I'm currently wearing, the game wanted to unequip my current dress, which I'm wearing. But it has a bug in the program which adds the X value, as in my horizontal position of the menu, to the RAM address it tries to, let's say, set undress, and it happens to undress, quote-unquote, the value for the Cups of Wishes, which happens to lower the value by 2. Now, why would that make 0, right? Well, technically yes, but an empty item slot in this game is represented by 256, the number 256. So it's the highest value possible. So, because I have 0 Cups of Wishes, the game does not know what 0 means, so it actually gives me 8 uses of Cups of Wishes, even though the number is 0. And that's how that works. I didn't explain that too well, did I? Oh well. By the way, you don't have to equip the sword for this cutscene here to work. However, you want to have the sword equipped for the next boss, which is why I equipped it earlier. So that's that. If you hold B after a cutscene, you immediately start charging up your weapon. Now the Tropicalo, or Fruit Salad, is quite interesting as a boss. You want to hit him as early as possible so you can get in another hit before he dives down. Now this has a certain risk to it, if you do that. This. I hit him just before he dives down, and if you hit him on the wrong frame, he will do the hurt animation as soon as he unburrows, and well, burrow again. Which is a little bit of a risk, so you want to make sure you always do maximum damage, as in you are fully charged, which makes the timer really tricky. Like that. Also, there is another, well, spot you can hit, which is at a certain frame, 1 or 2 frames I think, when he spits out his pumpkin. This can happen. So he doesn't unburrow because he was still caught in an action. That was pure luck, by the way, that I could show it off like that. I don't usually go for it. If you hurt him at a certain frame, he forgets that he was hurt and doesn't unburrow, so you get another free hit in. That fight was actually almost perfect. Not quite. Because he dived... No, it wasn't. Because he dived once before giving me another hit. I only use 1-letter characters for player names, because every time the name is called, it wastes 1 frame, which is, I think, around 20 seconds over the course of the run. Bow and arrows, yay, we never use them. Hopefully. They are useful for Spike attack when he doesn't behave. Thank you. Okay, what I'm going to do now is set up the second player. Equip the axe. Equip the items. Oops. That was weird. Set the cursor on this. Start the second controller. Go into the menu. Start and deactivate the second controller again. And go to buy thing. Now what this did in the menu just before is I set my second control scheme to be upside down with the D-pad, which means the second controller I'm holding right now is actually correct how I hold it. So that's that. Hit. Oh, that was too late. And I didn't hit it. Which is sad. So I need one additional enemy. Or I need to kill the wolves myself. Okay, now my goal is to level up my sword to level 2. For this, I have to consider a few things. I need to kill 12 full enemies. The flowers only count for a half. And it also only counts for half if I don't do the last hit on an enemy. So I want to make sure that the boy always makes the last hits on enemies. And now for the hardest fight in the whole game. Wow, where's the second ball? Come on now, buddy. This might work out. It's purely timing. Okay. That's nice. I actually got the last hit with the boy by that. So, and I lost count of how many enemies I killed, which isn't too good. The girl is named Chi. If you spell it backwards, it means gay. Actually, it should is supposed to mean Jack, as in Y-A-G-E, which is the short form for Jagamoth, which unfortunately happens to be gay. Well, I don't mind gay people, so I don't care. Oh, that's silly. Usually, I only want to kill. Oh no. That flippin' chest. It had to happen, right? Well, what was the problem there? Well, you cannot push chests on triggers. And stepping onto that button over there was a trigger. Wow, why did I do that? I already have the axe equipped. You need the axe to destroy those statues. Well, as mentioned, I cannot push chests on triggers, and the thing happens to be a trigger, the button. So I couldn't push the chest over there, I had to open it. Which happens to not contain any item. By the way, if that would have contained a cup of wishes, that would have been extremely bad. Luckily it cannot contain cups of wishes. Really? Wow, I did not know that last through. Cutscene. Let's reset that room. Because I don't want to have to deal with the wolf. Now, if that chest would contain cups of wishes, as you may remember, my cup of wishes count is currently set to 0. So it would be 1 And I only would have one use of Cups of Wishes, which would be really bad. Okay, Eleni's cast, which is quite tricky. You run here, hit, switch, run. Run. You go to the right, because, well, you should hit that guy, by the way. Don't do it like me. I always forget I should hit that guy. I almost want to simply walk past. Oh, the girl is dead, which I don't mind. Oh my god. As you may see, enemies can combo you. As in... Start! Press start! Wow, it didn't work. I activated the second controller there, so I didn't have to deal with the AI controls. And the AI has a huge lot of trouble to get past enemies without running. Now, as you could see, you have no invulnerability. The enemy can hit you and hit you and hit you and hit-stun you and combo you to death if they are funny enough like that. So that was quite problematic. Also, AI loves to get stuck on enemies. I'm using two controllers here to take a little shortcut over one controller. Now I'm absolutely unsure whether I will get the sword to level 2, which is extremely crucial right now. That shouldn't... No, it didn't. That's bad. I should not have done that last hit with the sprite. Okay. Now the sword is on to level 2, which sets up for another glitch. By the way, barrels are overpowered in this game. Also, there are a ton of glitches. So what I'm going to do now is tell the game that the AI controlled character is supposed to charge up to his sword to level 1. Then I will tell the game to charge up the sword to level 2, which instantly charges the sword to level 2 without having to wait. Because the game thinks it is at the maximum charge level already, because it hit the maximum with level 1 before. Okay. Nice, that's perfect. Now I tell him to only charge up to level 1, which overcharges and does this. Well, that wasn't stellar, but it was okay. Now what does that do? The game already thinks it is at the maximum of a certain charge level, but the game also thinks it still has to charge up because it didn't reach the specific level yet. So it keeps charging and charging and charging and overcharges the level, which happens to go way past what you usually can. So you can charge up to level 256, but it's only recommended to charge to around 80, because after that point the damage numbers will go haywire and weird things can happen, such as you don't do any damage suddenly. Also, I activated the second controller here to lock down the lady. This time it worked, last time it didn't. So I can instantly talk to her after opening both chests. Also, wow, there's a lot to explain, I guess. If I didn't open the chest with the 50 gold, well, 50 gold is nothing, as you could see, because I have tons of money, it would not have teleported me outside. The 50 gold chest is the trigger to let Eleni know I opened both chests, so she would teleport me outside. She would not teleport me outside if I didn't open the 50 gold chest. hit this guy, switch character and try to run by. Didn't work out as planned, but that's okay. Switching to the whip, so all characters come up here. And that's that. Switching to the sprites, so I can dash charge up in the second room. Charging diagonally into the room works perfectly fine. That's bad. Because they can combo me, basically, to death. Now I want to switch to a useless weapon, so to speak, and then back to the spear. I need the spear to set up my other overcharge, so to speak. Now, that's why I have two controllers. I now have the spear charge up to level 1, switch back to the sword, which is instantly charged to level 2. It's the exact same concept as doing the overcharge with the AI control character. However, it's you control it, so to speak. So it's the exact same thing, overcharging, but you control it. And what I did there is I switched away from the boy to the girl, activated the magic rope, and then ran into the cutscene with Undine. Now I'm technically talking with Undine, as in the cutscene of Undine is now playing, and I get the magic from it. Really useful. So it doesn't save a whole lot of time, but it looks funny, so I do it. And it does save a little bit of time if you do it properly. However, the requirement for this is you cannot control or lead with the boy, so to speak. The boy has to be inactive, else you cannot move after activating the magic rope. That's pretty clean. And back to Gaia's novel. Oh, yeah, I forgot about the barrels. What barrels do is it grants you complete invulnerability against most attacks. The exception is the spells you can cast yourself, such as Gnome's Earthslide or whatever. In any case, you are almost invulnerable to most boss attacks unless they cast spells on you. And if there are special spells such as, well, engulfing in flames from the spiky tiger, you are also immune to that. So only spells you could cast yourself, you are not immune to those, but for everything else, nothing can hit you until you hit B, as in you try to attack. Then the barrel immediately vanishes and you lose it, so to speak. The sprite now has to equip the whip, not the bow. I like the bow, but she has to equip the whip, cast this, and the girl casts Frost Weapon on all characters. Frost Weapon is extremely handy. Wow, don't get stuck there. Because it makes enemies into snowman! Hello, snowman. Now, turning enemies into snowmen is extremely useful. Because AI characters, as you may see, usually have a lot of trouble getting past enemies. They always back off like this. But as soon as an enemy is a snowman, they completely ignore him. He doesn't exist anymore for them. Which is why it is so useful for us to turn enemies into snowmen. Usually it isn't worth casting Frost Weapons though. So you don't see too many snowmen, I guess. But there are a few key points. Wow, that never happens. Usually the goblin splits and calls an ally. Nice, I go past those guys. If you are unlucky, or, well, not prepared, I guess, those two chess masters can really hurt you, because they have an extremely quick attack pattern, and one chess master alone can potentially wipe out your party if you get caught in a bad state, so to speak. Now I'm casting frost stuff. This is because it's a buffer, basically. In case I happen to miss this, I got it, luckily. In case I happen to miss the specific frame for an overcharge attack I want, it is basically a buffer. The frost wave does damage and hurts the fire guy, I guess, and gives me a little bit more time to set up the appropriate, well, overcharge. Now what you need to know is you can technically choose the overcharge level you want. However, every single frame, which means every 1/60th of a second, which is 0.016666 infinite seconds, the overcharge level changes. Well, depending on lag, it's a little bit more time, but that's the general idea. In any case, you can choose the overcharge. However, it is really tricky to get the correct levels. Or always the levels you want. And that's why I use the buffer there. So I could actually use another attack, etc. Also, you could technically activate the magic rope here and then activate the cutscene here as well. Same way I did it with Ondini. However, the characters move in a way that they would be behind the entrance door, and I couldn't move outside, so that would not be useful at all. Oops, that was not intended. And off we go, out of Gaia's Novel again. Let's see whether the ruins are more kind to me this time. Also, if you see me making extreme movements or seemingly unnecessary movements, usually it means it is to manipulate my AI companions. Sometimes it means I'm simply bad, but usually it means I'm trying to manipulate them. Also, I want the girl here in the lead when I go to Pandora, because for the next cutscene, the girl will already be upstairs after talking, well, after the cutscene is finished. So she doesn't have to walk up there, and it saves a second. Do I one-shot every boss? No, not quite. Most bosses from, well, a few bosses from here on out will be one-shots. However, the further I get into the game, the more HP bosses have, and if they have more than 999 HP, I cannot one-shot them anymore. Because your damage caps at 999. You cannot do more damage than that. So it is not quite as boring. Plus, if I make a tiny little mistake, it can still screw me over. For example, the last boss requires roughly 20 overcharge hits. Usually, at least. I want to go into the door to the right there, so I can run straight up here. Run past those chess masters. Hope they don't attack me, because they can. Switch to the sprite, activate the sword, try to freeze it. Didn't happen. Too bad. It is only chance to freeze enemies. It is a very high chance, but it still can happen that it does. Also, I'm running up left here to spawn the sword up there, so the tomato man down there doesn't spawn. Also, I run up left here to despawn another tomato guy. Hit this guy because he tends to hit me if I don't. Run up past the sword because I can. Switch character to run because when I hit something, I cannot run immediately afterwards. That was pretty good ruins, actually. Now I want to be the boy, because immediately after the cutscene finishes, I get into a boss battle, and I want to be able to charge up my weapon immediately. Dialogue, don't do this to him, no. Oh well. They fall through the floor. Not through the hole, they fall through the floor. Because they didn't move far enough, but doesn't matter, I guess. Okay, now. Setting up the overcharge again, trying to get the correct level, and one-shot this guy. If I'm not bad. It should. Yeah, it works. Nice. Wow. Those were really good ruins, actually. Okay, the next enemy is the Kilroy. Kilroy has, I think, 900 HP. So 900 is really high, actually. Which means I have, if I roll a bad damage number, which is around 20% of the time, I will not one-shot him. Also, what I didn't say it, and they didn't happen up to now, many bosses, such as the Kilroy or the Jabberwocky, have a chance to evade. So, even though technically my attack clearly should have connected, it doesn't. Which is quite annoying, because that's absolutely random and nothing you can do about it. The only thing I can do is basically prepare for in case that happens. Run past here, run past there, and simply go up. Switch to the girl, because she has the sword. Simply run past those guys, because I now have equip. They cannot hit me. Most things are determined whether it hits you or not, or how much damage it does, more to the point, by how much equipment you have. So, no, basically everything is determined by how much equipment you have. Or how high your equipment defense is. Level almost doesn't matter. It gives you a little bit of evade, but that's about it. Also it gives more HP obviously, but it's not... Getting levels is not that great to survive more hits. Much more important is your equipment. And surprisingly enough, I skip a lot of equipment during the course of the run. It's quite risky to do that, but that's how a speedrun works. It's no cakewalk. Trying to switch to the boy. Nice. I simply spam select and walk down left. Usually it works. Also, those shady creatures have the worst background music in the whole game, at least in my opinion. I don't like this track at all. Other than that, I really like every single track. Also, it does take that long until I can move. So let's see whether I can hit him properly this time. this should work. And I missed. That's the way I was talking about. And that's really bad. Okay. Now it hit. Usually you can simply one-shot him. But sometimes he decides to evade for no good reason at all. Way to go, indeed. And they simply walk away after stealing the mana seed. Why would you let them walk away like that? I have no idea. Okay, let's go. Walk past this guy, run. By the way, if you run in a straight line, your allies will always attempt to run in the same straight line. If you run diagonally, they will simply run diagonally as well. So running in a straight line is usually a good tool to manipulate your AI character. I almost chose the wrong option there again. Running in a straight line is a very good tool to manipulate your AI companions to get past enemies, because while they are running, they ignore enemies as well. If they are walking, they try to evade, and, well, secret mana AI. In my opinion, it's a pretty good AI for casual play, for the most part. Also, you can configure it, how aggressive it is, etc. So it is actually pretty elaborated and fairly good overall. However, for a speedrun, it's, well, tricky. Also, going into the door to the right there has a high chance of me simply going past. Also, I waited there a little bit because I want to test something. I waited there until the fishes were hittable again. Hand it over. Okay, the next boss has a very interesting hitbox. Also, I have currently control over the girl, which is suboptimal, so to speak. Wow. That was lucky. I had no idea which attack would come out here. Now, what you need to know in boss battles, your melee weapon's hitbox is twice the size as it is in normal encounters, which is a really neat addition, because that's useful most of the time. And sometimes some bosses, such as the Jabberwocky, have weird hitboxes. The Jabberwocky's hitbox actually extends below, from around his belly, below his feet. And that makes it really weird, so technically you can slash him from very far away. As in, simple normal slash is more or less already a ranged attack in this boss battle. But if you try to hit the heads, you won't hit anything because the hitbox isn't there. And speaking of hitboxes, the next boss has a very interesting hitbox. But you will see about that. Come on, guys. Also, running every little bit is neat, I guess. You should run at every opportunity if you're speedrunning this. Okay. And as soon as you land, which is amazing by the way that you survive such large falls, the sprite lands on his head. Well, and he doesn't know anything anymore, so we free the Pebbler's village. Okay, that worked out. Switch. Perfect. Almost. Okay, Pebblers are annoying as hell, because they have extremely high evade. So if you're unlucky, that's the wrong. Okay, that should work. If you're unlucky, they will simply evade like that. Also, not like that. I'm happy if I can get them in 3 attacks. That was pretty neat actually. So you can technically kill them all in 1 attack, but it is mostly random whether you actually hit them, because they have such high evade rate. And there's nothing you can do about it. Or is there? Hang on. Also, I use 2 controllers there to get past quicker. Well, get outside quicker after the cutscene. And those O's didn't cast on me, which is really nice. So I'll get past this without any trouble. And now here is the text box really annoying, because that pink rabbit will almost hit me. Well, this one decided to not do anything, which is really nice. They can cast Acid Rain, which wastes a fair bit of time. And speaking of hitboxes, by the way, one of the most annoying enemies in history. What you need to know about this guy is if you hit his beak, you don't hit at all. Which is really annoying. Which is why you want to hit him from above. Perfect! That's really nice. That doesn't usually happen. So, Springbeak can absolutely troll you. He can cast magic and, well, you can't do anything about that. You take damage, he potentially can kill you. I didn't manage to switch character there. Switching here. He can cast magic, he can jump around forever, he can turn his back to you and then turn around just when you want to hit him and hit his beak. It's horrible. Sometimes. If you hit his beak, if you have, let's say, the whirlwind attack with the spear, you will not hit him. Like, not at all. Because, as I mentioned earlier, your weapon hitbox is twice as large in boss battles, which includes the whirlwind, so you almost always will hit the beak, even if you try to... If you were standing behind him, if you use the whirlwind. So your best option is to use attacks that have a very small attack radius. Also, you don't need that mana seed, by the way. You only need Sylph. It's quite funny, in my opinion. And that's that. Upcoming is... one of the more difficult areas to run through. Oops, that was silly. Waiting for the sprite and then running past this guy. Okay, made it. Okay, those alls are extremely nasty, you will see why in a second. If I'm unlucky. run past this guy because I can. Yeah, because of silence. Silence inverts your controls, as in up is down, down is up, etc. I switched the girl to equip the axe here to get rid of those things, because if I switch weapons with the other two characters, they would lose the frost enchant, and I still want it on the next screen. Okay. By the way, stepping onto the carpet is considered to be a stair step, which is quite interesting. So you cannot run from the entrance up to the king. Well, not all the way. Halfway, roughly. So that's that. Switching to the boy, because my technique is purely with the boy. See if I can do it. He's hitting her, which is annoying, but that's why I still have frost weapon. He's not usually here. The girl is dead. No. That's bad. That's potentially bad. As long as the sprite isn't dead, it's all good, I guess. Well, not all, but mostly good. Switching to sprite. Wow, that peddler was really aggressive. Sprite is dead. And I'm dead as well if I'm unlucky. Don't do that, please. Wow, are you kidding me? That's what I mean with RNG. They can outright combo you to death. That's pure RNG, nothing you can do about that. Okay. I have to use this and this. Because I need the boy for the boss. Stepping up there to, well, manipulate the enemy spawns. And I'm silenced again. Silence is extremely nasty. Because the problem is not the inverted control scheme. The problem is when it wears off, because you don't know when that will be. That was silly. I should not have such a character there. That was extremely rough. That was extremely rough. For this boss, I want the whirlwind attack. This works as well. The whirlwind attack has basically the highest hit chance. And I got him. At least the boss went pretty well. But the cave was... well, that one portion was really bad. You see, one little thing can go wrong, and everything goes haywire. For example, those owls, if they cast silence on you, after they cast it, they will chase you down. They have twice the movement speed and attack, and twice the attack speed basically. So it's extremely brutal if you get hit by those guys. Because if you are only one character, they can combo you to death basically. Now they don't do a whole lot of damage, at least not against the boy. But they lock you down and, well, there's not much you can do as long as you are on the floor. Okay, now I only have one cup of wishes left. Optimally. Oh, come on, go out of my way! Dude! Are you kidding me? Can I select skip through him? No, I can't. Come on! Thank you. Wow, that's not nice of you. That was bad. Holy cow. Running past those guys because I can. That was weird as well. To Kakara, please. Thank you. Okay, now some people may be wondering, why do I go to Kakara first? Because I cannot finish Kakara. I need Salamando to finish the Fire Temple, right? Well, that's correct. However, if you fly to the Ice Country first, you cannot fly directly to Kakara from the Ice Country, because you have to fly from this cannon into the desert to activate this, well, cutscene. So you would have to fly back to Matango and then fly over to Kakara, which costs more time than going to Kakara first. It is not a lot of time, but it is a little bit. Also, you want to have a decent level before you go into the Ice Country because of those nasty wolves. Also, as you may have seen, the cutscene didn't scroll all the way. This is because I have the sprite in the lead. Don't ask me why that is, but the screen doesn't scroll all the way and the characters get stuck in one position if you have the sprite controlled. It's quite weird how that works. Okay, a little bit of cutscene. Get to work! And we run around. Talk to this guy twice, so he will help me escape, which is necessary. Now, if you would have hit a certain frame during the previous cutscene and press B, you would have talked to him remotely somehow. It happens. Could you go please out of my way? Thank you. I have to assemble my party again. Also, this guard can stand in the doorway and not let me outside. I walked it right to avoid the guard there, by the way, so I don't talk to him accidentally. He almost went over there. Also, as a kid, I had trouble finding this door there, this grey door. Well hidden. Thank you, Blackborn. I at least attempt to explain. I'm usually not particularly good at explaining, but practice makes perfect. So I practice that, basically. The Empire took over the ship. That was quick. Also, you can run that tiny little bit. It saves a little bit of time, so you want to do it. The Mech Rider #1, which is, ironically, the most tricky one of the Mech Riders if you don't hit the first attack. Now, I couldn't one-shot the previous enemy, but I can one-shot this guy. As in the Great Viper had too much HP to one-shot. The Mech Rider, which is the boss afterwards, interestingly enough, has less HP. And as you can see from my split, he can, well, be really tricky if you miss that first hit. Are you leaving? Yes. Thank you. Moving him a little bit to the left there, because if I wouldn't, there would be a Sand Spider. Also, I don't usually restock here, but I messed up my setup earlier. Hang on, that was the previous run, I'm an idiot. I apologize for that. I'm still in my previous run where I messed up the setup. Now I can fly directly to the Ice Country. For those that don't know, in my previous run I messed up the Cups of Wishes and, well, I only had 2 in the end, instead of the usual 8. Now I have actually, well, I had 8 before entering the cave, now I have 5 because I used 3. Which 5 is basically enough. Now here, I want to cast Frost Weapons again. Because the upcoming area is extremely tricky to get through without Frost Weapon. Those wolves are extremely fierce. Now, I'm an idiot. No, I would stop usually there. I did that again. Actually, in my PB, I think I did the exact same mistake. I forgot to buy equipment. As mentioned, the area upcoming is extremely brutal. And you really want that equipment. Oh, silly. I think I'm missing 1 herb. Well, could be worse, I guess. Now I already wasted some charges. Special technique for equipping all on one, basically. Well, it's not special, but it's simply something you know or you don't. Okay, let's try this again. Now for those guys. Well, if those owls were extremely fierce after they were casting, those wolves are always like that, basically. They have extremely high hit rate and attack extremely fiercely. So it's pretty difficult to avoid them without hitting them. Well, similar goes for turtles. Those pebblers don't matter anymore because, well, I have new armor. Hit this guy because he would have guaranteed to hit my guys if I didn't. And, well... And entering this screen with the boy because that's a boss battle. Wrong way. Let's see, the pumpkin doesn't hit me, it hits the sprite, which is okay, I guess. Waiting where he spawns. You always need 2 hits for this guy. He has more than 99 HP. Waiting until he spits, and I can usually hit him then. Okay. Well, I lost... Okay, I didn't forget it last time, my run. I lost a fair bit of time because I had to go back to buy equipment, and I also lost a little bit more time than usual running through the ice forest. Oh well, it happens, I guess. It shouldn't happen though. Next time. Yes, the turtle do have extremely high evasion. That's crazy, actually. And they are almost unavoidable if you're trying to get fast through the areas. They are not much of a problem if you're, well, casually strolling through. For a brief second, the most amazing music plays, and then gets replaced by this weird tune. Oh well. The smoke monsters don't matter really. It's extremely rare that they cast anything. Well, if they cast, they matter obviously, but they usually don't. I changed it now, did I? Okay, let's try Stinger's tactic. Okay, it didn't work. Hit him again, because he would hit me otherwise. And run through. Now this screen here is one of the worst. It has such a small area for 3 enemies. Wow, they're really nice to me. They were really nice to me. That's quite incredible. The boy did have to get hit there, right? If I'm fast enough, I can avoid the first turtle there hitting me. Whoop, whoop, and going past. Now, unfortunately, the sprite got hit there, so I have to cure him. I need the sprite in the battle. Trying to hit this guy. Okay, because I didn't, I have to balloon him. There is no way around this guy if I don't control him. Now, usually, if I hit my first hit there, I can hit the switch and run out. However, because I didn't, the chance is extremely slim that I would have made it out without getting frosted. So, that's how it works. Those books usually don't matter, if I get to run past them cleanly. Well, since the boy gets hit anyways, I can react the sprite here. And yes, I did jinx it. Those shrieks don't usually cast on me, but today they decided they want to. Okay, for this screen I want to get the whirlwind attack. Because I can one-shot all of those little guys. I didn't get it. I'm one off. As in, I was 1 frame too late. But I got them in 2 attacks, which is okay, I guess. And moving on. Waiting until this guy splits and then ballooning him. Moving past. Well, I messed up the setup, but and this is walking through walls. Really useful. Also, this here is, I will be explaining the walking through walls a bit later. This is one of the weirdest dialogues. Be gone! Well, no. Ooh, that's silly. I want to immediately crowd control this guy with slow down. Now what this is called is boss lockdown, basically. A little bit more. This should work. Now what I'm doing is I'm using my overcharge attack, and then immediately after I'm casting. Because the timing has it that it just happens to work out that as soon as the overcharge is finished, the animation, okay, it's dead. Now the timing has it that as soon as the overcharge is finished, it just happens to be a good timing for the spell animation to also finish. Now I'm casting Slowdown or Analysis to lock down the boss, so he doesn't do anything. As in, his entire script gets stopped. So he doesn't attack, he doesn't move, he doesn't do anything. Which is extremely valuable. If I did it properly and hit the second attack as well, I could have killed the Frost Gygas before he disappeared even once. Him only disappearing once is also okay. By the way, I do not really have Frost Weapons because I killed him when he casted Frost Weapons, so it's only the, well, animation, I guess, of Frost Weapon. Also, the worst screen of the game. Right into the middle of enemies. And I got past. Nice, that was really nice. Also, the walking through walls is really interesting, and I will be using it a bit later as well. Come on, run through. It's really difficult to get past those guys properly. No, turtle! Don't hit me, thank you. Okay, running through walls is interesting. Now, it is all tied to those rope poles. Rope poles start an event. The event says you can now walk through walls, however, usually the control is taken away from you when you are trying to walk through walls. Run. Thank you. Usually the control is taken away from you when you are hitting a rope pole and the flag is set that you could walk through walls, which prevents you usually from, well, walking through walls or into areas where you are not supposed to. This event starts, and for some reason, while you are casting a spell, or anything is casting a spell, while you're hitting a rope pole, that event gets extended and you regain control over your characters before the event ends. So you can walk through walls for a brief period of time. It is really useful to get certain shortcuts. Now that shortcut over there was really minor, however there will be a few larger ones upcoming. Also the rope holes have more special properties to them. Okay, if you walk from the side to... that's bad. Oh well. If you walk from the side to those spider things... Oops, that's silly. You can't go into the door before it hits you. No, if you walk from the side... I will be starting that sentence a few times, I guess. Well, that was correct. Wow, really? They don't usually cast, but it happens. Hit this guy before he does anything. Well, run past anyways. That's risky. I will try to finish my previous sentence, by the way, at some point. If I don't forget what it was, because I just did. Damn it, Rain. Why do you do that to me? I really forgot what I was just talking about. I'm sorry. Again! That's absolute RNG, and there's nothing I can do about that. I now only have 2 medical herbs left. By the way, you have to push that switch to complete the dungeon. If you don't, it is possible to get past here without pushing the switch. However, if you don't, there's a problem in the next room, well, in the upcoming room. In this one. This switch here doesn't work if you don't activate that switch before, because the entire palace is basically a sequence, And the game doesn't know what to do because you forgot one switch in the sequence and it doesn't work. Well, that's the basic. Trying to get... Wow. First light? That's not nice. Interestingly enough, this guy has considerably more magic power than the Frost Geiges, which from their appearance you wouldn't expect. However, the reason is Frost Geiges actually does more damage, however he casts on 3 targets, so the damage gets split. The Gorgon here, whatever, Minotaurus, casts only on 1 target, so it is only directed to 1. Obviously. Thank you, Captain Obvious. So because he targets only 1 person with his magic, it does considerably more, or seem to do considerably more damage. He doesn't usually cast, by the way. That's more or less bad luck. And I could spell lockdown him, but overall it is... He casts so rarely that I usually can kill him before he does anything else. Also, running straight up here simply works. There is a sand spider in that trap, but it doesn't matter because I'm walking from the side into it and it doesn't activate. To the Empire, please. And now the first skip of the game. The first actual skip of the game comes up. It sounds much more exciting than it actually is. The first skip of the game consists of not talking to a person. That's it. It's nothing great. Now, usually you have to talk to the Lady Mara on the top left side of, well, this town. Up left there. However, there are 2 techniques to get past those this guard here. The first one failed. Sometimes you can simply dash past him. The second one is you select skip through him, as in push select, 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 and you're through. It simply works, which is really nice. Also, this is one of the worst areas, because it's so small and it inhabits the worst enemy. Those flipping blue slimes. I really hate them. I have to wall right here for them to split twice. Then cast Balloon on them, so they get controlled. 6 magic. Then I can run past. And that's that. That's pretty easy. However, the screen after this one is extremely annoying. Come on, guys. This one. Those fish can really mess you up. But that's not the worst screen. The worst screen is here. Because they will always, at least once, freeze one of your members with my technique. But that went surprisingly well. I got through the sewers without much trouble. Yeah, that would be really useful in daily life. However, you don't usually control a party of 3 people, I think. That's probably the main reason why you cannot select script to it. Also, by the way, that door down there, it's nothing. You cannot enter it. It has no screen transition trigger, if you're wondering. Okay, now from this part to the next boss, which is the Doom Wall, is a really lengthy segment actually. So I just ran through the sewers and now I still have to run a bit further to the next boss, and I'm still not healed. So which means with all the HP I lost through the sewers, I still have to run through the second ruins. The second ruins is extremely tricky to run through. Now, I have a fair bit of practice by now, but it's still fairly tricky to get past those ruins. There is a fair bit of RNG, how the monsters will react and whether they will cast or you get past or whatever. But for the most part it should work fine. For example, I say those blue and red slimes are the worst because if they hit you, they control you and you have to use a medical herb to get further, etc. That's true. And that's still true. Run past, that worked. Simply hold left, don't run here, because it works out that your AI partners don't get hit. Run like this, down right, run like this, get past. It's pretty easy. The tricky part is upcoming. You can get hit in the previous screens, but it's pretty rare. Here, you wait, blop blop, and then run past. No! Bastard! He ran into my way. He doesn't usually do that, by the way. I recovered pretty well there, but that's extremely rare. That I've actually never experienced that. So I've never experienced that he runs into my way. The blue one, the green one ran into my way at some point, but never the blue one. So here, balloon, because I can. Also activating the second controller to get out here faster. And back up. Running past works every time. And up left, I don't want to go past this eye. Technically it would be a shorter way on the right side, but you don't want to mess with that eye. Activating a second controller again to be faster. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's bad. Okay. That went extremely lucky. Now, the bad part there was... Okay, I got through the door before. Oh, damage still counted. Now I have to heal the girl. If she gets hit, is dead. Obviously. And I've already forgot what I was talking about earlier. Okay, I got through. That's one of the scariest parts in the whole game. Oh, I want to revive the sprite here. Mainly. I messed it up. Come on, sprite. Because the girl will die. Oh, that's bad. I need two characters, else I cannot set up the overcharge glitch. Or... well, I guess you could put it in short. I set the girl in front of the boy, so she absorbs all spell damage. So... any spell will usually be cast on the nearest character. Sprite died. Please hit. Okay, I hit the wall once. Now I should hit. Okay, that was quite scary actually. And it's still a PB segment. Okay, in the previous room where I got caught by those red slimes, this should never happen, really, unless I'm extremely unlucky. What I did there, I was dashing up left instead of simply left, which caused my AI control partners to dash straight to the left, instead of getting in line on the top of the screen and dashing left behind me. So they dashed right into the fire blob. I was extremely lucky because the girl did not get engulfed in flames, and the sprite who got engulfed in flames immediately died. So that was considerably quicker than having to wait for the flames. So, one of the main problems I have now is I have no medical herbs left. So I have to play perfect in the sense of don't get hit with anything I would have to remove. Also, the upcoming boss, the vampire, is extremely RNG for a speedrun. Because if he decides to be funny and simply stay in the air for an extended period of time, he can do that. It's not funny for me, but for him, I guess. Okay, that's the level 6 charge attack. Also, I have to give the sprite some more magic. And then cast again. Oh, that's bad. What happened there is the boy was the nearest to the vampire and he got grabbed. But I still got 2 hits in on the vampire. What I'm doing here is I'm positioning my characters, so hopefully... Please come down. Shh. The boy is potentially in danger to die here. Come on. Come down, please. That's what I mean. If he's funny, he can simply stay up there. Funny guy. Until he runs out of magic. Which won't be for a long time. He's taunting me. Now this is absolutely luck-based. He does not usually stay that long in the air, but there's literally nothing I can do about it. Because I have no attack that could hit him up there. So I simply lost a minute purely by bad RNG here. Which isn't too bad considering I gained a lot of time by having a lot of luck. So I guess it evens out. But just as a pointer, there's a lot of time to gain still in the whole run. By the way, those splits on the left are, as far as I know, unless Luigi got the record in his run just before, is the current world record in 1 player 2 controllers. So you can see there is still a lot of time to gain in this speedrun. Let's do it properly, I guess. So, 2 more enemies left. Hopefully I kill them before they kill me. And all is good. 2 more enemies left until the game gets horribly broken. Well, or a bit more than it already is, in the sense of actual sequence breaking. Because as soon as I get flummy, things start to get weird. Also, this town is probably one of the laggiest places in the whole game. It's pretty crazy. Also, if you could somehow, for some reason, go on the left here, through those guards, select skipping doesn't work by the way, you would save approximately 2 minutes. Well, yeah, 2 minutes sounds about right. Now the next boss is technically one of the easier ones, but actually pretty difficult if you're not executing it properly. You only need to hit him twice, well, with overcharges. But getting those 2 hits is sometimes really tricky. Now the sprite runs into the way here and gets engulfed into lanes, which means he will not move from here. I did not hit, please hit now. I did not hit. The sprite is still playing bait, which is really useful for me. Hit now, please. Okay. That's always a bit tricky. Perfect fight would have been if I simply hit him twice without him doing much more. Well, it worked out like that. Also, as you may have heard, there was this very bright jingle, which means the girl has the sword level up, which is extremely useful because I can use that very soon. Oh yeah, by the way, those guys are funny. They clap twice and then walk around. So, clap, clap, and I walk past. Now, they have a very high chance of missing me, but you don't want to chance that if you can get past those guys so easily. Run past this guy, because he doesn't do anything. Also, those guys will always start swinging as soon as they get on screen, but they will not immediately attack. So, don't be scared when they are swinging their flail. Simply walk past them. As soon as they... well, that's what I meant. As soon as they start swinging the second time, like this guy just did, well, he can start hitting. And I messed it totally up. I could have gone through without any trouble, if I made it properly. I want to be the boy here, so I have him as soon as the fight starts. Also, by the way, a trivia. For some reason, I have no clue why, as soon as this cutscene ends, you level up your sword by 1. As in, no. Hang on. You get weapon experience as soon as this cutscene ends, which is really weird. You only need to hit him twice. Also, he has an AI bug, basically. Please hit. Nice. The whip is also level 1. What? That doesn't matter. This guy is extremely tricky if you don't know one thing. He always tries to get on your vertical level, as in your Y position, before he dashes left and right, the mech rider that is. However, because I'm on the very bottom of the screen, he tries to get to the very bottom. However, his hitbox is larger than mine, and so he cannot get to the same Y-axis level as I am. And so he will simply pace around, slowly left and right, without doing anything. Usually. Unless you hit him with normal weapons, then he will use wave beam, etc. which is not recommended. Also, I totally forgot where I have to go now. As in, where it is, not where I have to go. That's more accurate. Now here's one of the scariest areas. Scaling the mountain with basically no equipment. I could explain that one, but I need to focus right now. Wow, that was bad. Okay, focus. I need to run with the sprite. Spellcast. Okay. It's extremely confusing to do that, by the way. Usually you have 2 players, which makes it a whole lot easier, but well, I don't. No, it's okay if the sprite dies. In fact, that's pretty much perfect. Now, usually you cannot go through here, right? Right? Well, that's not quite true. Not anymore. Ever since we found a really interesting skill. Hang on, that's wrong. The girl has to charge up the weapon. The boy has to be in position. Please charge up your weapon, lady. Open menu, talk. And she's through. Well, and that skipped. This little thing skipped 3 temples. And then 3 spirit temples. I now have 3 mana seeds less than I should have. Considerably less equipment. That's extremely unlucky, by the way. I still need him. They don't usually cast in this area. It happens though. It's extremely rare though. Need the whip. Thank you. Remember, I still don't have any armor. I'm running through a much higher level way than I should be. So if those guys transform into a nasty enemy, I have I'm in deep trouble. Now, 2. I needed to check that, because if I don't have any Cups of Riches, I need to use my backup strategy. Okay, I got through that. Now the girl will die. And the boy revives the sprite, and then this boy must die. Because, interesting enough, as soon as your doppelganger dies, well, the enemy disappears, and I win! That was one of the scariest parts of the whole run, by the way. Now, I lost a lot of time because I was quite slowing ascending, and well, overall it didn't go too well. Now, interestingly enough, usually after boss fight you get healed. Here you get healed as well. However, the interesting part is you get healed on your mana as well. So that's really nice. Now we fight a boss who is hard. Usually. Not always. I have a trick for it. Now, remember, I still don't have any equipment. I need my spear though. It's really important. Okay, now the Akragopilon, or watermelon as we call him, is usually considered to be one of the most difficult bosses, because, well, in a casual playthrough you usually spam magic. This is the first boss who uses Wall, where you cannot use magic against, well, unless you use Shade. No, 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 no! No! That's hurt! I completely messed it up. And I need Sprite to be alive. That's bad. If this doesn't hit, I'm toast. Ah! I completely messed up the setup. Wow. Now, what you usually would want to do is get overcharged normal slash, hit him, and kill him before he casts more than once. But I messed up the setup and he cast a little bit more than once. Okay. Oops. I think my chat died, by the way. So I will refresh that in a second. Okay, now you may remember I just skipped 3 temples, which means I'm missing the Spirit of Light, the Spirit of Moon, and the Spirit of Shadows. So I don't have that magic to activate orbs in the Grand Temple, or the Grand Palace, so to speak. That's true. So I need to find a different way to get through the Grand Palace without having those spirits. To the left, okay. Oh, it's on the west. So for this I'm using the Frost Nico. Now I land in the field where the Frost Nico resides. Well, the Frost Forest Nico to be more accurate. I'm going to buy some stuff because I don't have anything. Okay, that's enough. Now, the interesting part of this is, if I save here, the game does not have any information on where I entered this screen. Which means, if I try to load that save now, it would actually not work. Because, well, the game didn't save where I entered the screen and it doesn't know where to put me. However, there is a trick to it. If I soft reset the game by holding LR select and start for at least 5 seconds, the game will not wipe out its memory from, well, the previous playthrough, and it keeps where I entered the screen last when I load the game. As in, I can now safe warp to any screen I'm currently at. For example, I could land on this cutscene here. However, I want to land in a very specific cutscene. So my entrance coordinates will now be set to this cutscene where the boy is falling down the tree stump and down to the Manosaur, etc. The interesting part is, there is probably a leftover of a New Game Plus mode. At least that's what we assume it is. And that means as soon as a party enters this screen, they will be set to a special state, invisible. Well, they are now invisible. As in literally invisible. You can remove the invisibility state by healing. The girl is still invisible now, which is useful. Now, the invisibility state has a few interesting parts to it. For example, if any text box is open, any one, I can walk through walls. And some of you may remember, there is a text box here. Well, I'm now through. I need to go down here, over here. Okay, that's pretty risky actually. No, oh, wrong way around. Step on this switch twice for some reason. No, that was actually the right way around. Oh, losing time for no reason. I want to have the sprite over there so he can stand up there. And pull me down here. Okay, I'm through. That was quite tricky in execution, so to speak. Okay, the girl needs now to swap weapon, please. The sprite now has full matching. Hit this guy twice and he's down. Oops, that was silly. I was a bit faster last time. The setup is really difficult actually. As in getting through that lower part without being interrupted by those enemies. So, that guy is dead. I don't want to walk during this scene, else, well, I walk through walls and that's bad. Because I'm not controlling it. Also, I forgot to split. Okay, now I want to have the second character already active when I walk in here, and here is the reason I have two barrels. The Hexas fight. Now remember, I still don't have any real armor, which means Hexas more or less one-shots me. Hexas needs at least 4 hits to kill. Now, what we do here is I set up the sprite to walk right in front of Hexas. I set up the overcharge glitch. As soon as I unleash the overcharge glitch, the barrel will be gone. However, I will be casting the whole time with the sprite, and because the sprite is casting, he is invulnerable for... What?! You got to be kidding me! That never happened before. Good lord. That happens a lot today. Okay. I usually do it with the girl, by the way. What the hell? But the girl is now invisible. He's hit. The girl is dead, by the way. The boys need— No! Ah! That's bad. I need to revive the Need to set up another overcharge. Ah! So risky. If I stop casting, my party is toast. That cost me another minute, wow. That's really not nice. Phew, that never happened before that one party member got engulfed in flames. After casting. They usually get pygmied, but it doesn't matter. Now for the last boss. The same trick as with Mech Rider 2, by the way. Remember, I still have no armor. If he would be dashing around and hitting me, I would be pretty much dead. However, because he tries to get onto my vertical level, he will never dash around, which is really useful. So I can simply kill him, if I hit. If you hear the thing, I didn't hit properly. If you hear nothing, like this, he waited or was invulnerable because he was casting. He's an idiot, by the way. He's casting wall on himself and then tries to speed himself up. So he speeds me up. Which, well... it's mostly only annoying, actually. It doesn't help me in any way, shape or form. And that's that. That's Mech Rider number 3. I lost so much time. Crazy. I was around 4 minutes ahead. Oh well. Let's see how this goes. I have no idea how well my Mana Fortress was last time. Now, interestingly enough, did I manage to deactivate my second controller? I totally forget. Now, in any case, if my second controller was still active at the point of killing the Mech Rider 3, he would now have control, which was a weird thing. Awesome music. Unfortunately, we don't get to enjoy it a whole lot. Also, by the way, Nico obeys the same rules as monsters, as in only 3 NPCs can be on the screen at any time, which means if you have still the characters on the left on the screen, Nico will not be appearing right now. One barrel for a good measure. Three. 1, 2, 3. And some stuff, I guess. That's that. Don't forget to equip, because I forgot to equip at some point, which turned out really bad. Ended the run. Whoops. Also, equipping the wrong stuff can end the run. So that's that. So, as some of you may know, why is Buffy next also on my splits? Well, because he is. The trick is... over here. Another skip. Now those guys are not scary anymore at all, because I now have armor. Screw you, go away. Now the interesting part here is... if I activate an event, as in hitting a rope pole and then calling Flammy, The event will still be scheduled to play as soon as possible, which is about right now. However, it doesn't work because I'm currently flying. Now, as soon as I'm landing, the event will play, as in checking can you jump, throw pole, etc. Nope, cannot jump, so all okay. And this overwrote the event that usually happens when you enter the Mana Fortress early, which means you have to go to the Mana Tree, right? Well, you don't. And that's how you enter the Mana Fortress too early. No, that was silly of me. You want to dash up right here to despawn enemies and dash up right again to spawn those guys, usually. Also, you want to call your allies up here before you activate that switch, else they get excluded behind the green stuff. I have no idea what that is. I have no clue why he just cured water. I didn't hurt him, did I? Maybe I hurt his feelings by running past. That was a bad joke. Running through the Mana Fortress is quite dangerous actually, but not as dangerous as you may think. There are a few key elements and enemies I want to avoid, but many enemies cannot damage me at all because I have the best viable armor. The masks are an exception, and those guys are an exception, and exceptionally annoying. Because they can cast Acid Rain, which doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but well, it stops you. Also Buffy, Vampire number 2. Let's see how much RNG he will be. And he decides to fly up right away. Great. Wow, really? He usually waits a little bit before he uses that attack. And he decides to taunt me. Oops. What I'm going to do is cast Wall here. Calm down, please. I cannot hit you up there. Seriously. Thank you. No! This may or may not work out. I hope it works. Calm down! Oh my god. We'll do 1 damage. You're an annoying little bastard. Yeah. Oh my god. Are you serious? He still has 1 wall left. I think he has no matching anymore. one more hit and he should be dead. Because I have no magic anymore. Thank you. Lost a minute and 16 seconds by pure RNG. There's literally nothing I could have done about that. And that's towards the end of the run. Well, shit happens. Unfortunately, the next split is a personal best split, so I will this time here as well, by default, unless... Well, I cannot save time, so let's put it that way. Because it's been pretty much perfect. Let's see how it goes. You want a normal slash here? It's not a normal slash here. Still not a normal slash. It should be a normal slash. I gave wall to the boy there because this boss does nothing but cast Acid Rain. It doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but it interrupts hitting the boss, so I don't want that, so I gave him a wall. He's dead. Pretty decent actually. What was much better than last time, well, a little better, was getting through the area, but the boss was a little bit slower, so that was roughly the same speed as last time. Oh well, too bad. Giving everyone a wall again, because that's useful. Now because I have to wait for the level stuff anyways, until it's finished. So let's go. Last trip. Dashing up right here to spawn enemies. It's really useful. Dashing up right here to spawn one more enemy. And the rest is more or less random. By the way, those wolves hit really hard, if they hit you. They don't usually. And those guys are really interesting as enemies. They kill you in one hit. As in, they don't do damage, they simply kill you. It's a one-hit KO move, and if you get hit by it, you die. Sometimes. Not always. You want to avoid getting hit by them. Please come on, sprite. Also, those masks are, well, the heads. They are masks. Cowl masks. Whatever. Don't get hit. Those masks have very little defense, but extremely high offense, both magic and physical. I need the girl here. Please let me through. And the spray is dead. Well, I switched to go too early, I guess. Waiting for those to slash and then dash through. Okay. How many? I still have everything. should also heal her. Okay. Dark Lich. How will you troll me today? Now the Dark Lich is interesting. He is similar to the vampire before, as in, he can get in a state where I cannot hit him, but he doesn't usually do that. So, I'm pretty sure that happened last time, so I have a fair bit of time to make up here. Let's see how it goes. Now, you can kill the Dark Lich very quickly, or not so quickly. That remains to be seen. I will once again position the girl or the sprite, or both, in front of the boy, so optimally they get hit by spells instead of the boy, and the boy can simply spam his overcharges normal slashes. And hopefully Thanatos will not dive into the floor. But that's RNG. Let's see how it works. Setting of overcharge. I cannot miss the normal slash this time. Okay, got it. Comes to use hoops. Doesn't matter. 2 slashes. He has 6,666 HP by the way. Kind of fitting, maybe? Hit him, please. Balloon ring. Now, I need 2 characters in this fight, so I will revive the sprite. Because in case he casts on one, I need the other one to take over for any buffering. Perfect! Well, almost perfect. I had to revive the... what's it called? I had to revive someone. Well, I'm ahead now. Okay. Grouping the whole party at one spot. Because that will make it quicker for the party to assemble. Now, Secret of Mana has that weird quirk. If the second player, well, if one player kills the boss and the other player is active, the other player will get to talk in the after cutscene, which is why I usually deactivate the second character. But I reactivated him here, which is silly. I don't know which character is currently talking. So I'm mashing both controllers. Stop this. Okay. This is one of my favorite music tracks in the whole game. It perfectly describes the upcoming event in preparation for the final battle. Now, the Mana Beast is interesting. If you are lucky, as in actually lucky, mostly RNG, you can 2-cycle him. Now, I think the boy still has wall, so we'll see about that, I guess. I need a normal slash here again, because, well, it doesn't matter. Now, if I'm unlucky, the boy still has probably wall, I guess. As in, if I try to block the next attack the Mana Dragon does, it will be repelled onto the Mana Dragon. I will see about that, I guess. this attack cannot be repelled, but for this one it can be repelled, so I will see. Actually, I don't need to block this one, because it doesn't do as much damage as the previous one. If he comes from below, that's way better than if it comes from above, because I can hit him earlier. But I messed it up and hit too early. Or I'm simply missed. That's the RNG part. If I don't hit him, as he simply dodges for no good reason at all, this fight takes way longer than it should. Could he please hit at all? Thank you. I need to get 20 hits in. So this is pretty much the nail in the coffin that I will not, in fact, get 2 cycle. This could kill the sprite. No, it did. Also, I positioned the girl and the sprite in the middle here, so they get hit by lightning attacks. Also, I have to heal here. And that's the repel I was talking about. But the sprite survived, so that's good. Probably should be healing with items. Again, I'm casting heal here. And I will... let's see. Throw an item onto the sprite. So he survives. Probably should have thrown the item a bit later. If it hits, this should have hit. Pretty sure about that. Oh, come on! I'm not cutting the record like that. Not at all. It will probably take another cycle if I'm... Unless I'm extremely lucky and get a true crit in and hit everything with attack. That was one crit. Well, that won't be enough, I guess. I will not be casting here because that wastes time. I was extremely lucky right now, because every time he came from below, every time the boy decided to miss. By the way, 400 is a very low damage range, as in a glance hit. It actually is a new record. I did not expect that. After that, well, Buffy and the whole stuff that happened. Oh well. Oh, right, split. I should have split as soon as it started to white out, because that's when you lose control over the character. So, let's see, did Luigi Meister get a record? I want to call this a world record before I've seen whether Luigi Meister got it. Let's see... Arguably not, from judging from how long he streamed. By the way, this is cutscene. I don't have to mash here. It's auto-scrolling. I really like that music. Such a bittersweet ending. Fun fact, the map they are currently standing on is, well, wraps around, as in, if you walk, you can walk infinitely to one side or another. The same landscape will come again and again and again. Technically, every single screen in Secret of Mana wraps around. Also, if you're funny, you can actually safe warp into those cutscenes here. As some of you may remember, saving at the Frost Forest, Nico, does not save your entrance coordinates because you landed with Flammy and that's how you entered, so the entrance coordinates are set to null and the game does not save, well, basically anything. And so you can safe warp into any screen you're currently in. This includes cutscenes. I could warp here, and check those guys out. Which would be a bit weird. I could warp in here, which, well, doesn't do anything really. You cannot talk with anyone because they are not scripted to be able to talk. It was quite weird. Also, all the screens have more or less random exits, so if you would walk out to the north here, you would land at the Water Palace. Such a weird sight. They simply stand there. Huh. Lady is being followed by her chairs. Interesting. I guess the chairs are pets. The Cannon Brothers. I actually love the concept of traveling in this game. You fly with a cannon. I mean, which other game does that? Also, speaking from physics, if you could survive such a large fall impact without any trouble, you should be able to take extremely large hits. Physically, it's at least, right? I mean, that's nothing else than extremely large impacts. But I guess it doesn't work that way. Also, by the way, if you safe warp into this screen here, Nico would be walking up and down, so you never see him in the game walking, or you don't even see him from behind, because, well, you get never behind him. So he actually has a back sprite, which looks quite weird. He cannot walk left or right though, only up and down, the Nico. So I guess that's that. You stick the sword back into the stone for the next story to begin. And time flows like a river, and history repeats. The sprite standing in the forest, so alone. Such a bittersweet ending. Thank you, Dom. Well, I guess that's that. I have a little something to show off after this run. Now, I have a save state where I just beat the Mana Beast. Well, I didn't take that, but at some point I beat the Mana Beast. Now, I told you, I can save warp into any screen. It has sometimes some weird effects. Now, I'm soft resetting holding LR start select for 5 seconds, which saves, or more like it does not reset the entrance coordinates where I last came in. And I'm loading a Frosty Forest save, which does not have any entrance coordinates saved. So I should land where I just fought the Mana Beast, right? Well, technically yes. Well, the short version is the short version is the Mana Beast fight, Dark Lich fight, and all the Mana Fortress fights are a sequence of events, which means if you try to jump into the middle of the sequence, it doesn't work. And sometimes the screen gets a little bit scrambled. But that's about it. And I'm closing the stream, I guess. So thank you for watching. And I hope to deliver a better run in the near future. As you may be able to see, you can quote unquote easily make up 5 minutes if you have a little bit better luck, and at some portions better executions. So that's that. Thank you for watching, and have a nice evening, day, night, whatever it is. Bye bye.